Now, that's what I call music. 30 tracks with 11 number ones. From Culture Club, Duran, UB40, Kajagoogoo, Paul Young, Phil Collins, Tina Turner, Tracy Ullman, Genesis and Madness. Get Now. A double album or cassette in record departments of Woolworth, Tesco, Martin. Now, that's what I call music.
Track 2 now, and another great super band of the 80s, Duran. Is There Something I Should Know? It was released in March 1983, 2 weeks at number 1, and I didn't know this till I was doing my research, but it wasn't on an album, it was a standalone single.
I hadn't realised that fact either. No, first of 2 number ones that they'd have in the UK. I have to say, I can't remember much about this one from thinking back to the time. I'm guessing you don't because you were one. Some of Duran's videos were very dramatic and big budgets, and we sort of see them now on these sort of video compilations that are shown on TV.
Yeah,
Radio's the obvious one, massive video. With
Girls on Film.
Yep, Girls on Film. Wild Boys was I remember clearly from back in the day, which you've got Simon Le Bon strapped to a windmill that's spinning around, and every so often he's getting dunked into water. With the chant of the Wild Boys. That was a bit later on in their career. But yeah, they worked a lot with the guy who directed the Highlander film as well in creating the effects for their movies. For their
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I was going to say, back in the early 80s, of course, it was kind of like it was in the 60s. In the 60s, you had the Beatles, the Stones. You couldn't like both. In the 80s, it was the same. You were either a Duran fan or you were a Spandau Ballet fan. Personally, for me, it was Duran.
See, I think if I was probably older, I would have been a Spandau Ballet fan. I still love Spandau Ballet, but that's still controversial. I do. But
it had lots of great tunes and an amazingly good musical band. A lot of great influences, and I mean, Duran are still performing as a band. Spandau Ballet are still doing stuff without Tony Hadley, of course. He left the band a few years ago, but I'm of a generation where I'm into Pink Floyd as well, and Gary Kemp from Spandau Ballet is currently one of the musicians that's performing with Pink Floyd's Nick Mason as part of his Source Full of Secrets tours.
Oh, I read about that, yeah.
And I have to say, and he admitted himself, people will look and think, Spandau Ballet doing Pink Floyd, that's just wrong. But you can see from watching the concerts and from listening to the music that the group of guys that are doing the music, including Gary, clearly love the band and love the music that they're playing, and it's just about being a good musician, and he definitely is. But this has all taken us away from the music we were going to play, and that is, of course, Duran.
So this is my vinyl copy here, now one, and it really is one of those albums that still stands up, and I play it over and over again still now in 2022. But it's just the choice of songs on there. It was so strong to feature, all the greatest hits from 1983. And also, I mean, look at this. It's fantastic artwork as well. Kind of pictures of all the artists and some of the single covers and where the songs were in the charts. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it. Absolutely love it.